Hey, Rico here. So, this is still a topic that is going on in our world news, and it has to do with once again our current archman president, President Trump, basically disrupting the whole foundation of what has already been established. And he is just giving so many different examples of how to bully all of our supposed allies or even people that are just trying to help have some type of partnership in trade or just trying to help have some type of commerce between, the nations. And now it has to do with Panama. But it's not just Panama. And when people think of this place, they do think of the Panama Canal because, like, if you're like me in history class in school, you learned all about the Panama Canal and you've seen it as like this stretch of river that is basically used for different items and merchandise and different products and everything just being transported back and forth. It's kind of funny. I remember being in school, and even now, just thinking of the Panama Canal as like just this river with people in a boat, just like rowing along and trying to get like down the stream. And it's really funny now seeing how it has really built itself up through the help of Panama as well as the long, rich history of America as well. And our current president is basically highlighting this and how so much trade has gone through the Panama Canal. So you might think, especially with my channel and how I talk about East Asia, how this ties into all of this. And it does, because while America thought they were too good to really care about the Panama Canal in South America, guess who was creeping on in there, creeping through the cracks? Yeah, you all guessed it. China. China was doing its work. And we're talking about buying, conquering, whatever you want to call it, ports. One port, two port, three ports, all these ports just all around the area, including two ports in the Panama Canal. But then another place also is brought into the fray, and it's Hong Kong. Because, of course, we still have this back and forth with China saying, Hong Kong, you belong to me. And Hong Kong saying, we belong to nobody. We are our own place. How dare you, China? So Hong Kong actually owns two ports that are located in the Panama Canal. And now Donald Trump and America want a piece of this pie. And there's this whole big conflict that is shaking up everything, where America's saying that we're going to buy these two ports from Hong Kong.
A Hong Kong-based conglomerate will sell its stake in two ports on the Panama Canal. CK Hutchinson Holdings has sold 80% of the group to a consortium led by BlackRock for an equity value of about $22.5 billion. US President Donald Trump has recently increased pressure to limit Chinese interests in the region. The group insists the deal is not related to Mr. Trump's promise to take back the canal, though.
And China pretty much knew nothing about it until it was announced that, yeah, they're going to go through with this sale. And China was like, hold up, Hong Kong. You're ours. How dare you? How dare you think that you can go and just do something like this? You all are messing up everything. And then, they had to go and be like, turn and go to America. And they're like, wait, hold up, Donald Trump. You're messing up everything. If you do this, it's going to be some problems. You're really hurting us and our whole plan. Because, they had snuck and had this whole plan planned out with their trade and everything and getting money through this. And it was a brilliant plan. I don't know, what my country is thinking about a lot of the time. I feel like sometimes we focus on the wrong things. Like now we have a president that is literally on live national television bullying leaders of other nations. And it's just like, I gotta be in the Twilight Zone. I got to be in the Twilight Zone with no exit and no windows and no nothing. I'm just like, because this can't be real life. Like, it just can't be. So now we once again have this same issue of Panama being thrown into the mix of Hong Kong and China's whole back and forth and fight with each other. And Panama is like, also like, wait, Donald Trump, let's wait a minute now. You doing a lot.
China is operating the Panama Canal, and we didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back.
Back in March, President Donald Trump celebrated a $19 billion deal by American investment giant BlackRock. Hong Kong conglomerate CK Hutchison agreed to sell a huge chunk of its port business to BlackRock, which includes a port at each end of the Panama Canal.
Just today, a large American company announced they are buying both ports around the Panama Canal and lots of other things having to do with the Panama Canal. And
because, of course, Donald Trump is sitting up there with all them red-faced men in the room and saying, oh, the Panama Canal was ours. We didn't really give it to Panama. It was ours, and we built that bridge, and we want it back. Panama's like, skirt, hold up, stop at the stop sign, stop at the crosswalk. We actually were the ones that put our money into building up what the Panama Canal is today. And they're like, number two, we never stopped anybody from having trade and going through the Panama Canal. We're just charging people depending on how big the ship is, how wide the ship is, what the ship look like. You gotta give us some money. That's all we're saying. And of course, with Donald Trump and how bad our economy is, they're like, we don't want to do that. So, he's doing his little happy dance and all up in arm and turning all orange and everything, hair flying off his bald head, and he just as happy as he'd be, the red-faced men in the room. You know how you see certain people and they just look like, they just don't like certain people that don't look like them? That's what those men look like.
A neutrality treaty which the U.S. pledged to defend by force. But now Donald Trump calls the canal a vital asset of the U.S.
The canal belongs to Panama. It is administered by Panama and stipulated in the Constitution as well as in the treaties.
Panama charges passage fees for ships depending on their dimensions and the uses of the vessel, not their nationality. But Trump says those fees are too high.
Panama has the second highest tonnage and ships under registry, but vessels are treated the same, whether they are registered as American or Russian or Chinese.
The country receives significant income from operating the canal, almost $2.5 billion last year.
We have proven to the world not only that we can manage the canal well, but that without the United States or any other nation, we also built an expansion that today earns 55% of the canal's income. In other words, more than the old canal built by the Americans. We paid for it ourselves, from the funds that came out of the canal and our good administration of it.
For now, the canal is still a state enterprise that by Panamanian law can only be operated by Panamanians themselves.
So China's like, hold up, Donald Trump. Panama is like, hold up. Hong Kong is like, just go ahead and take the ports. Hong Kong, like, you know what? Just go ahead and take it. Like, we got other things to worry about right now. Like, it's bad enough we got China breathing down our back. Like, we got all of the hot breath just down our backs. And we're like, oh, like, please get them away from us. Because Is like we are constantly in a battle with this place that is called mainland China. And so Donald Trump and everyone is talking about all the money that is put into these ports that are in the location of the Panama Canal. And I think that is just a whole interesting situation, because this is something that is going to make a big difference, and it is something that's going to hurt China. And I just think all of this is so ironic, because we had pictures like once upon a time where the Chinese president was all in support of Donald Trump. And was like taking pictures with him, and they looked up to him as some type of like global juggernaut because he made so much money, and having statues of him and everything in the buildings. And I'm just like, see how the tables turn. See how when that money is involved and people fall on hard times, how all that is erased and people have amnesia. And now he's turning on everybody, because it's like America's not doing so well, and they're trying to do whatever they can. They arguing with people, trying to bully people, trying to threaten people in a roundabout way. America is doing a lot right now to try to get as much money and as much control as they can to try to build themselves up. And it's going to be a hard feat to really accomplish, because it's a lot that has to be done to really get America back to where it needs to be. And it does have to do with trade, but it also has to do with making sure that we have allies as well. Because there's a lot going on in this world right now, and there's some scary stuff. Like, you all definitely be in tune with what's going on in the world news, because there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on with what's up in the air. It's a lot going on with just the environment, a lot going on with a lot of freak accidents that are going on, a lot going on with just people in their nations and the countries and society, and it's all a lot. And it does indirectly and directly affect wherever you live at. And it's a very good idea to keep tabs on all of this, because it is all going to come to a head, and it is all going to in some way, in some shape or form, blow up in everybody's faces. And it's a very scary situation. I'm not one to like be all flipping out over like people who voted for this man to come back to be the leader of America. I know life goes on. However, I do think that with every action you have, there is a consequence, and be prepared for what your actions have done, because something's going to happen, and it's going to be up to all of us to hold on real tight for the ride and buckle up, because it doesn't look like it's going to get any better. They're saying they don't even know if this deal really is going to go through. I don't know. With Donald Trump, who really knows? They're saying that it is, that, you know, he's happy about it. There are people saying, like, the investment companies that are involved in this are crooked. I've heard that name, BlackRock, be thrown around. Like I said, I think that Hong Kong just wants to get rid of it. I don't think that, honestly, that this really should be messed with. I think that everybody should share it, including China. China is a very scary place, mainland to be more specific, because they are such a wild card, and we don't know what they're doing. They have so many secrets and so much going on under the surface, underneath the surface, that it's just like they're a complete mystery in a way. They're crazy. North Korea is crazy. South Korea is falling apart at the seams. Japan is going through a whole lot of stuff. It's just like, we all just need to like go and hug somebody. We all need to go and be prepared with what's going on, because like every place is falling apart. And it's just like, be prepared. Definitely be prepared. But I do think that this is kind of messing with a trade system that was helping out everybody, and Panama is not restricting it from anyone. So I do think for Donald Trump to be putting that out there, like Panama is like stopping America from using the Panama Canal, they are not. They're just charging It's just like how America is charging all of these things and taxes, and it's between like Canada and America and all these other places. Ooh, it's so mind-boggling, you guys. It's so much. Just all of this being like swooped up into everything. Hong Kong and China and their whole back and forth. Panama being put in that. America now jumping in the fray, all because they're money hungry and power hungry. Ooh, it's a lot. But definitely keep up to date. This is the whole point of this video as well. Follow my social media, mostly my Instagram. Also blog Nation Pop Culture. The link is always down in the description box below. And remember, be real, stay real, live in the real, and I will always be back. Thank you guys for watching. Put below how you feel about this whole topic, and I will see you in the next video.